The official aesthetic muscle tier. Today we're going to be ranking each muscle group, ranking from S being super and D being forget about it. I want to go through each one, explain to you what is the most important one and why you need it. So guys, let's get right into the video. This is a killer. I was actually really excited to make this one. So as you guys can see on the screen, we got glutes, hamstrings, we got the back, we got the traps, we got the abs, obliques. I think this one's honestly the obliques, abs, forearms, chest, triceps, shoulder. We got the calves over here, and then we got the back. So as you can see, we got a handful for us. So let's get right into the video. So let's start with glutes. So we're gonna give this as a guide perspective as what is the most aesthetic muscle tier and why are each one going to go in each category. I know I'm going to get a few people would be like, what are you talking about? But that's the part of the game, guys. So let's get right into it. So honestly, guys, let's start off with the calves. So let's start off with the calves. I think the calves is anywhere. I mean, a lot of people would be like A, S for a guy. I'm like, bro, like this is literally like a D. I don't know why people would ever spend too much time on their calves. I mean, especially like the bigger calves you get, the shorter you look. So I just don't understand any reason why you would want big calves. I think calves are really important. So you should be training them anywhere from like 1 to 2 times maybe per week. But to rely on them 4 to 5 times per week is like, I just don't get it. I mean, I've been training for 7 years, and don't get me wrong, you don't want small calves, but like you need to train them sufficiently. But overdoing it is just like, come on. Like I think there's so many better options on our list, and why this one is ranked down here, I don't see any reason why it would be any higher. But it's my rules, my game, so that's why I'm doing this. So that's we got the calf. So now we're actually gonna go into hamstrings. So now hamstrings, I think is so what I'm gonna go with. I think hamstrings around C level. So the thing I put with hamstrings make your quads from the back look great. I think hamstrings are a great way to essentially see, how your lower body kind of looks, and especially when you're wearing shorts. So when you're talking about hamstrings, I think this is definitely a sufficient muscle. You should be relying these on your workouts anywhere from, of course, 2 to 3 times per week. It's always good to get 2 to 4, but legs are extremely difficult because given, how high the intensity the workout is, and plus the push to exertion, the failure, it's very difficult. But I always suggest you do even your hamstrings, your quads, anything 2 to 3 times per week to really get the sufficient amount of results, of course, in building it. But of course, there's two factors when you should be doing this. It's the intensity of your workout, but also the weight. So if you're not getting the size you want, increase the intensity. Simple as that. You will see the progression go. So maybe the time in between your sets, or essentially the weight you're doing, but increase the intensity, and I promise you'll see the results at a quicker rate. So next, guys, we're actually gonna go back. So this is so this one is definitely A tier. So back, I mean, guys, you want a great back. Back is like, it kind of shapes your whole body, I think, essentially. Your shoulders essentially shape your frame, but your back, from, of course, the perception behind, is the ultimate thing. And I couldn't give it the S tier ranks. I think a few actually go above that, but the back is extremely important because if we have a great back, everything kind of falls into place. And again, guys, for back, the best way to grow this is hitting it, I say, anywhere from 3 to 4 times per week, progressive overloaded and compound overloading. So when I talk about both of these, if you're not familiar already on the channel, compound overloading is the ability to hit multiple muscle groups simultaneously to stimulate growth at a quicker rate. When we talk about progressive overloading, this is the ability to build muscle over time. So again, guys, we increase the number of sets and weights. So for example, say we bench 135, we're doing a 6 to 8 range. We get to the 8 to 9 reps. Let's increase the weight on 5 pounds on each side, and then we'll drop down the number of reps, build up, rinse and repeat. So that's kind of those two overlaying principles, and that's how I was able to actually grow my back at a quicker rate. It took me a little while to understand that. So now we have shoulders, guys. Shoulders, I think shoulders is S tier. This is definitely a crucial one. Shoulders make up the whole frame of your body. If you have wide rear delts, your side and your front of the shoulder, so there's 3 parts of your shoulder. Of course, you have your compound lift, which hits the entire shoulder, so like a shoulder press, Smith machine shoulder press, dumbbell shoulder press, machine shoulder press, whatever you guys want to do, different variations. But there's 3 parts that you guys should always look at when you're working out your shoulder. You have your front, your side, and your rear. Your rear will allow you to get those big round delts and to make your shoulder kind of look in like 3-dimensional form, essentially. So shoulders are crucial because it's the whole frame of our body. So if we really understand how to maximize our shoulder growth, our back and chest will fit right in, and it'll actually give us the V taper. And a lot of people think only hitting back it's a V taper, which that is true. But if you can get your shoulders wider, it'll actually make it kind of invert at a better for the V. So that's a non-negotiable. I think everyone needs to hit shoulders. Shoulders is the number one thing, especially for aesthetic. Like, you want nice shoulders, but of course, guys, you want to do these so it looks right. You don't want to like slam only one of these based off the tier list. You want to do it so your body looks right, proportional. But that's just my take. So triceps, I'm throwing triceps around, I think, C. So here's my thing with triceps. Triceps are great. It makes your arm look bigger, but you don't want blocky triceps. A lot of people focus on the bicep, the peak of the bicep. And I think that's more important for me for the aesthetic look than I do want a blocky tricep. So that's why I kind of put it down there. I think it does increase the size of your arm, but for you to increase and have such a big tricep, I think it defeats the entire purpose of the thing. So again, guys, that's my take. I don't, I definitely think you should be hitting triceps 2 to 3 times per week. And I think, other byproducts of certain workouts hit it. So of course, when you're doing chest day, is a byproduct of it. When you're doing dips, the bench press, I think there was only 2 that come to mind off the top of my head, but you will be hitting this, that's why I rely on compound lifts, because you're hitting multiple muscle groups at the same time. So chest, guys, chest, definitely A tier. Your chest, you want to, especially from the front for the aesthetic look, you want a nice chest. You want your chest to pop, and you want, of course, your stomach to be inverted in. And for chest, guys, the best way to build your chest is incline and incline press. So from dumbbells, a Smith machine is the best way to stimulate growth. It's great because it hits parts of your shoulder when you're doing it. It's also considered a compound lift, but your incline chest is just like, you want that. It's the money shot to build your chest quicker. Of course, don't neglect the lower chest and midsection of your chest, but the upper part of your chest, you want to build the foundation of it, because it'll make everything pop. It'll increase the size and essentially make the body look proportional the entire way. Forearms, guys, honestly, I lack these, so I can't really hate on them because I just didn't put enough time on them. These are B tier. I think forearms are great. You always want nice forearms, especially when you're wearing like a short sleeve t-shirt. Anything like this, guys, I think it's extremely important. And honestly, I think forearm strength is kind of overlooked in everything. So honestly, I spend more time in it. So I can't really give a hot take on this, but I definitely think forearms are extremely important and I have to incorporate way more into my workouts. So now we're going to talk about abs. Abs, of course, number one. You guys always want the six pack, but there's a perception on abs on how you're going to get it. And I want to show you guys, or tell you guys, a misconception a lot of people think. Spot reduction doesn't exist. Reduce your lower body fat percentage. So when you can lower your body fat percentage, what you're actually doing is the ability to lose fat. But you have to remember, abs and the love handles are the last 2 portions to go when doing this. So we have to make sure it's a long-term progress and not short-term wins. You can't drop 10 pounds and expect to get the love handles gone, or the abs, or lower belly fat where your abs are. It's the last part of the fat to go from your chest, your back, your biceps, your shoulders, whatever it is. So if we could do this over a long term, we'll actually get these abs. The V taper will come in, the obliques will look great, all this different stuff. But if we're not doing it, guys, you have to eliminate spot reduction and just drop your body fat percentage. Obliques, I think obliques is I think it's A tier, but yeah, I'm gonna go obliques. I'm gonna go obliques with an A tier. Obliques are really good, guys. So you have good obliques. Again, guys, your back, you want to make sure your back, when you're hitting your back, you get a wide back, because when you get a wide back, you actually can make your taper look better. So the more you can increase the size of it, the smaller your waist will look. And obliques is a great part of your back that you should really be focusing on. Your lats, of course, is another crucial part. So your lats and obliques are non-negotiables. The more we can hit this more times per week, so I say anything from like 3 to 4 times will be great, because we'll stimulate growth at a quicker rate. So I definitely think, anything with back is, I think, a non-negotiable at this point. Upper traps. So upper traps, I'm throwing upper traps trying to see, because what I think about upper traps is you don't want them too meaty. You just want them to look proportional. But people take this way out of perception, because their traps look so big that it makes their neck look small, and it's just very unproportional. I think you should have, of course, you should be hitting your traps, 1 to 2 times per week, but nothing over, crazy. You don't want to look like, I don't even know how to explain it essentially, but you don't want to look like you have a meaty traps that your neck looks too small. It looks weird essentially. So that's why it's definitely down there. So now we essentially have, actually we'll go to glutes. So glutes as a guy, I think it's very important. So glutes, you want to make sure your lower body is proportional to everything you're doing. And I think it's crucial that we actually do this and make sure we're hitting legs, and we're understanding every single part of our leg to, not every single part of our legs, but every single part of our lower body to hit this sufficiently. So it's really important for us to do stuff like this. So make sure you're hitting legs again, guys, 2 to 3 times per week, and to make sure we can actually stimulate growth at a quicker rate. So now we have the lats. So the lats, again, guys, I think lats are S tier right here. So lats are really important for us. Apologies for the picture. I really couldn't find a great picture of this, but it's lats. And the best thing with lats, guys, is I want you to increase the size of your lats. Your lats are really important because, again, guys, the bigger the lats you can make, the wider you can get the V taper, the smaller your waist will essentially look. So please make sure, I think these are hot takes. So if I were to go these in order, I definitely put abs, shoulders, and then over here we have the essential lats. I like this order. Honestly, I like this order. You have the forearms, glutes, and apologies, guys. I actually forgot the bicep. I just realized I actually forgot the bicep. I'm gonna throw the bicep, pretend I'm an imaginary bicep right here. I'm throwing the bicep around the B tier right here. So the B tier is for the bicep essentially, because the bicep, you want to make sure you have the part of the bicep that's really important. You want that little tip on the part of the bicep when you have it and it kind of pops. You want the hump. And I think that's extremely important than doing triceps or having blocky triceps essentially. It's not the point. Why do we want that? We want to look aesthetic. We want to look good. We want to have, the great muscle tier and everything, but we need to make sure we're looking proportional. And I think the bicep definitely outweighs the tricep in this scenario. So again, guys, we're kind of out. I didn't want to make this video too long. I was actually really pumped to make this one. This is a pretty cool one. But again, guys, make sure we hit everything proportional. Make sure we understand how we're going to do it. Make sure we have systems in place, and make sure we eliminate short-term pleasure to long-term benefits. When we do stuff like this, we'll get the results. Maybe not at a faster rate, but you'll sustain it over long term, and it'll become embedded to your lifestyle. So again, guys, I hope this video is helpful. It's a pretty cool one. Just a little, mix up aesthetic muscle tier. And the only reason I could, throw this list together is because I achieved the body I want and I have it, and I'm giving you my perception 7 years ahead of the road. So, I can't be, biased or anything, but maybe I am biased. Maybe a few of these could be switched around, but it's just my hot take. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, if you have a comment or you want to chat me about some of these decisions, make sure you leave a comment down below in the YouTube or in the description. Again, guys, if you want to achieve something like this and get your dream body that I was able to do after 7 long years of through every mistake and through every failure, but I finally found the key to success. I can help you do this, not in a matter of days, not in a matter of weeks, but in a matter of in the moment, making that decision, and we're getting right to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed something like this. If you guys have different video recommendations that you want to see or stuff that you're still confused about, always make sure you reach out, you leave a comment, because it just gives me better insight on what content to make that can really help you along your fitness journey. So again, guys, if you thought this video was helpful, as always, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I really look forward to seeing you on the next videos on the channel. With that being said, guys, cheers.